Guys, welcome back to another video. The treble winners have just been in action and they grabbed the treble of goals today. 3-0 away at Burnley, top of the table. That's where we are. Top of the table. I don't know what that song is, I just made it up on the spot. It's a terrible one. Either way, welcome back to another video. Of course, this is the Fan View Live, where you guys can have a chat with me if you want to and jump on. It is pretty late on a Friday night, admittedly. And a lot of you probably just popped out to drink because it's a Friday once again. And you're probably enjoying the rest of the start of your weekend, the rest of your night. If anyone wants to jump on and have a chat, you know what to do. Click the link in the description there or in the comments pinned, and you can have a chat with me throughout the night. I do keep it just kind of closed to patrons and members because it's my way of sort of saying thank you to those guys if they want to have a chat with me for supporting the channel. So it's just how it is, unfortunately. But, you know, it's still good chatting to you guys in the comments as well at the same time. So please do get your thoughts in the comments and let me know your player ratings from today and all that kind of stuff and what you made of that game as a whole. I'm personally very happy. It is worrying about KDB, but I'm very happy, absolutely happy. I think it's a good performance tonight, and ultimately find a way to win, deal with any problems. We coped without KD before in the past. I know that's when we had Bernardo and David Silva and, oh God, and everyone else. But we will do it again. We will find a way to do it again because we're Manchester City Football Club. I'm going to jump over. I think, Kevil, I'm going to add you to the stream, but I'm going to do the editing first as always, Kevil. So until I introduce you, mate, don't worry about saying anything. Let me just do a little bit of editing and line Kevil up and make sure he's in there. Is he in the chat? He's not yet. 1 second. Kevil will be there. Where is he? Currently, I've got a picture of Paqueta in there instead by accident. Hang on. Right. Kevil, I'll bring you in 3, 2, 1. So Kevil is here. Kevin Muddy. Mate, hello. And also, I'm not too bad, mate. I'm not too bad. How are you?
Great, man. Just watched a clinical performance. Solid first game of the season. And it's just wonderful to see us back to our, well, not our best, but getting the job done.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think our best is coming for a long time. And even I think if we see a good performance early on in the season, it probably still won't be our best because we'll find a level to go up. I reckon, all things be said. But you're right. We ignored last weekend. This is the actual football. It's back, 3-0 tonight. Of course, there's been some pretty big news, negative sense, but we'll get to that later on. The performance tonight, is it sort of what you expected? A bit better, worse? Well, about right.
I mean, the opponent were easier, I guess. They were easier than Arsenal, but I think the performance was about the same, maybe a 7, maybe an 8 overall. Haaland, again, just great at what he does, just scoring goals, as always. Rodri, Rodri's being the best DM in the world, and defenders being solid. A couple of mistakes in the first half, but overall, just very solid, everyone.
Is Rodri making a claim right now to be the best midfielder in world football, or is it still someone else? I don't know, because it feels to me that there's nothing he can't do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of midfielder you're looking for. If you're looking for a KDB type, then KDB is the best. Or if you're looking for a defensive type, then Rodri is the best. So we just got best of both sides of the pitch.
You did mention Kevin De Bruyne, though, mate.
Yeah.
Now, if you're just tuning in, you don't really know the news yet. Guardiola, but to be honest, Guardiola said words before that it sounded horrific, and then it's not been quite bad. He said he's out for a while. We don't know what that means. He said before when we've seen a player out for a month, and it's not that bad, When he said that it could be that he's out for 3 months, it could be that he's out for a few weeks. We don't know what it's going to be. What's your take on the De Bruyne situation? How big a blow is it? Did we get it wrong to play him? Where do you stand on this situation?
I don't think we were wrong to start him or play him in general. Injuries happen; it's part of the game. I think it will be about 6 weeks from what I've seen. Most of the hamstring injuries are 4 to 6 weeks, so maybe towards the end of September or maybe mid-September we'll start to see him back in training. Um, it's a huge blow, but I do think we have the cover for him with Foden there. Again, brilliant tonight. Lacking in finishing, needs to, we had a couple of chances where he should have scored a maybe done something more with it, but just half turns, linking up play, passing. Foden is just doing everything correctly. On the right, we can cover with Bernardo. We can have Kovacic coming in to support the link up play. or even we can even push with Stones when he gets back, or on the left side, maybe Sergio Gomez can come in on the middle. Rico today, amazing again
Yeah.
at his like young age. So I think we're fine cover wise, and hopefully just get through this 1 month. We don't have any huge fixtures either. So
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the fixtures right now just to remind myself, because I know the next few off the top of my head, but I can't remember past that. So we've got obviously Sevilla. I mean that's a shame, but we've got enough for this game.
yeah,
Newcastle at home, Sheffield United away. I'm gonna go to the end of September, just to cover all bases there. Presumably, it's a couple of months is a conservative estimate. Let's go for a couple of months. So you've got Sevilla at home, Newcastle. Sorry, so Sevilla in the Super Cup, Newcastle at home, Sheffield United away, Fulham at home, West Ham away, Forest, Wolves. Start of October, you've got Arsenal away. Now that's where you'd hope. If the KDB meme is true, then that's when he's back, right? I guess. You know, like
yeah,
yeah, that's probably when he's back. That's probably he's probably looking at the calendar already, going right Arsenal. But then after that, you've got Brighton United as well. So that's the run of games there, isn't it?
yeah,
Arsenal away, Brighton at home, United away,
and Champions League as well,
Champions
which
League around
hasn't
then as
been.
well. Yeah, in October. That's when you want him back, isn't it? And like you just hope. I mean, he wasn't. You hope it's a slight tweak and not a full-on tear again. If it is a hamstring injury, is Foden the solution now for you, Central? I mean, do you think Pep will try something
Yeah,
else, or do you think it's Foden?
um, maybe he'll tinker with Alvarez again. I don't think he should, but uh, maybe he wants to integrate Grealish on the left, Foden to the middle, or Alvarez to the middle, and then on the right, Bernardo. And if we sign Paqueta, then that's a lot of, I guess, a lot of backup as well. So
Do you
I'm
think
very, yeah.
Paqueta is the solution potentially?
Uh, he can be. I've seen of like West Ham games, couple of games that we play against, and then couple of games every now and then. Sometimes when they play Arsenal.
Yeah, yeah.
But Paqueta is like, from what I've seen, he holds on the ball sometimes too long, but passing is amazing, shooting, finishing, he's really good at that. Dribbling, it comes with the Brazilian,
Yeah,
skill
yeah.
and the flair. So he can be like, um, can be like a ball carrier, but also creative player also. So he would be a really good addition.
It's what I've seen of him. He seems to have the raw tools to be a brilliant footballer. I think he's not quite there fully yet, but
Yeah,
when I look at him, like I've got a couple of West Ham mates, and they've said the same thing when I've asked them. Extremely tenacious, extremely technical, and he's got a lot of he's got an eye for a pass that breaks the lines and can get forward and score goals. So when you hear all that, you're like, well, that sounds like everything you'd want. You know, very technical, great passer,
physical too.
physical, yeah, very physical, very aggressive. Obviously, he's not put it all together at the level of a De Bruyne, Gundogan, or whatever yet.
Hmm.
But it's almost like if you have all the natural abilities and you need the best midfield refiner in the world. It's Guardiola, isn't it? He's the guy who
Right.
brings it all together, and I'm hoping there's an element of where Guardiola, comes in and goes like, right, okay, I'm going to teach you everything that you need to become not just a very good midfielder, to become an elite level Champions League midfielder. And usually it's just decision making with Pep, isn't it? It's like it's just literally little things like that, body positioning on the pitch and all that kind of stuff. And he's going to have to be the man now if you go that high. Obviously the market's crazy though, Kev. On it, like it's a crazy market right now.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think 90 million is too high, even though he's a great player. I think maybe 60 million, but
yeah,
just the valuation is off. And
surely West Ham are tonight thinking that though, aren't they? As soon as they
even we paid 45 million for Phillips, it's like, what do we get back? And if we sign Paqueta, then Kovacic isn't gonna get attacking roles, so he'll back up Rodri, because Bernardo will also be there.
yeah, yeah.
So it's just Phillips. He's just not gonna get a game time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw my tweet about it about half an hour ago, but I was thinking about the Phillips thing and I mentioned it in the match reaction. But like in a world where like Rodri's moaning about playing 60 odd games, saying he's going to break me eventually, and then we've got 100+ minute games this season, and then you've got the academy lads coming out like McAtee getting the run out at the end, the token run out of Cole Palmer, and De Bruyne's gone off injured, and Pep knows he's probably serious, and he's still not putting him on. And he's got a new guy in Kovacic coming on as well. Like,
After 3-0 up as well,
yeah, like I don't.
like 10 minutes.
He didn't get in the
Yeah.
Community Shield either. Look, I'm not. It's only 2 games in, so I don't want to be reactionary. But like, at some point, you're thinking he should have got on the pitch by now. Like, he should have got on the pitch at some point. Like, because the Laporte got on, that guy was waiting to be sold. You know what I mean? Like, that's another thing as well. Like, Pep's obviously waiting to sell him. You know, and I love Laporte, but we all know that that's sort of like it's just his future's pretty much ready to move on and so on. It doesn't look good for Phillips, does it? Like, you wonder like if he's sort of bought into this idea of like, oh, I'll be better in the second season, but I wonder if he knows that Pep, once he's made his mind up, is just like, nope, mate. Maybe he's hoping for a Zinchenko thing where you hang around eventually, you get a chance because you have to, and you'll improve over a couple of years. And I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not looking good though. What about the new guys tonight? Obviously, you only saw a little bit of RDL, but we saw Kovacic too as well. Your thoughts?
Kovacic really good. He just seems to click like any. He just seems like he's been here for years.
Yeah.
That comes with experience for Real Madrid, Chelsea, I guess, Champions League winning teams. So
that's what he's doing.
Just a wonderful player. I feel like he's on par with some of our midfielders. So it's not any different. That's good thing, and also kind of like we don't. It's just reliable, basically.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
reliable.
Vardiol, like I know he's barely had a touch,
yeah.
but a couple of nice little touches there where you can see that there's one bit where he controlled it lovely, then immediately tries to play a through ball to like Alvarez or Foden or whatever. I was like, I like that. The aggressive like forward thinking. You can tell he's not just going to be a centre back on. You can tell he's going to be actually really involved, and I feel like he might get sort of fast tracked in because if you're lacking creativity, you got to need it from every angle you can get, aren't you? Really, someone who can create from deep as well. Like I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. Like it's going to be a long season, but overall, good start to the night.
It's a great start. I mean, I think we're maybe focused too much on the negatives. It's a win. If we take that 3 goals, Haaland got off. Burnley got a red card. I don't know if that matters, but
shocking challenge, wasn't it?
Yeah, lucky that Walker wasn't injured. And Akanji was great as well. As always. A couple of mistakes in the back, but first season, get the cobwebs off, and Gavardio can also do the Stones role maybe in the future. The more he learns, can go forward more on the left side.
Take a bit of time, wanted to learn that role, I reckon.
Right.
Yeah, because obviously it's such a unique role in the way that Pep demands his players approach it, but you'll get there in time. Kevin, mate, it's been a pleasure, and I'm sure I'll chat to you in a few days' time after the Sevilla game, as always. Thank you very much, my friend, and I'll catch you in a bit. Good night, pal. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Kevin there being an absolute star as always. Don't forget, this is the Fan View Live. I've noticed Dashmesh Betty has joined as well. Become a member. Dashmesh, thank you very much if you're watching, mate. If you look at the link in the description of this video or the pinned comment, if you click that, you can join and head over to StreamYard and you can have a chat with me if you want to, pal. Just like Kevin did and just like Mark is about to as well. Don't forget, please help support the channel, like this video and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Mark, I'm going to add you to the stream if you are there. Hang on. My mate, we won them all, mate. How you doing? You alright?
Yeah, man. We won the rest.
We won the rest actually in the end. Mark was we don't know. Yeah. Mark was adamant that we were going to win the rest of him after he went out the Carabao Cup, and he was right. How's your summer been, my friend? You been good?
It's been hectic. It's been absolutely hectic. Very busy. A lot of time consuming, but enjoyable. Very enjoyable.
What
How
have you
about
been up
yours?
to? Anything fun?
No work.
A
lot of work. Too much work. How's your summer been?
What summer? I don't even remember. It feels like it's just disappeared. You in the blink of an eye. Like literally, feels like yesterday that we won the Champions League. I was ill for about a month after the Champions League. I remember I don't know if everyone watched the streams. I had a cough. I was ill for a while. Like I wasn't sleeping well. And the little man kept me up, so it was all blurred into one. To be honest, actually, like with the little guy Ruben, he started babbling today. I've been a bit worried because he's been a bit of a late babbler, chatting. So, but he got there today. He was babbling and he made me a little cry because he was going blah blah blah, and he's obviously crawling and everything now. So he feels like a little boy now. He feels like a little boy as opposed to a baby, and it's great. So all of a sudden, everything's just changed in my head. If that makes sense, like when you all of a sudden. Yeah, because I'm worried about it. I'm that kind of dad who worries about him all the time. So now that he's talking and he's walking, I've got a little man now. So that's been my summer, just watching my son develop, mate. So, but City are back, mate.
That's
now.
Awesome.
Yeah, to be honest, it's been me and Nicola have fully got into the swing of things now. As parents, like we've got ourselves back a little bit. Seeing our friends more, not quite as tired. been to the cinema a few times, which is nice, you know. So that's been good.
Yeah,
Little things like that make you
I
feel like a human
understand.
being, you know. But mate, City 3-0 Burnley. What's your top line view of the game?
We normally start slow. We normally start a little bit ponderous. We're not like a team that comes out of the gates right off the bat and just steamroll. So
Yeah.
I'm happy away from home. I know we have a really good track record against Burnley anyway. I think that's now 13 wins in the last 16. I think it was like 12 on the spin or something like that.
Yeah.
As well. So I was kind of expecting us to win. I know a lot of people were a little bit upset with some of the performance. I know Kevin being injured is not something we wanted. We all wanted a bit more rest, but I mean, it's a customary Kevin injury. It happens practically every season. He's out for a few weeks. He comes back after I guess sometimes we feel it's sometimes a little bit prolonged. This time it'll be prolonged. He'll come back healthy and he'll be firing and he'll be doing it when we need it. Big time.
I put in my season preview as one of the positives that KDB was rested. What did you? I put in my fantasy team and everything today, man. Like, it is a massive blow. I'm a firm believer, Mark, that in general, you know, pressure creates diamonds and all those other cliches, and like usually adversity gives a chance for someone to step up. And if you've got a team full of losers, you know, that's not going to happen. But when you've got a team full of winners, I think someone, they'll never admit it publicly because it's obviously disrespectful, but one of those players will be thinking, this is my chance now, you know. It probably is Phil. He probably is thinking Phil will be like, I'm going to play central a lot here and I've got to step up and carry this team. I think he will do because I think he has the quality. So as much as, you know, look, put it this way. Does Ilkay Gundogan become the Ilkay Gundogan that we know and love if De Bruyne was injured for that time for ages ago? Remember that season where
I do.
when he bagged loads of goals all of a sudden, a few years back, and you know
I remember it.
And that stuff like these things happen, you know, when an opportunity for them arises, you know, like, and this is what I feel. If you get great people, they can do great things. Am I waffling there, Mark? Is there something in that?
No. There's definitely something in it. Look, it's been shown time and time again throughout the years with us. There's been periods where we've had like Kevin be out, we've had Riyad be out as well at the same time, and guys like Bernardo have been pushed out to the right and done phenomenal jobs. Gundogan's getting more of an attacking role at the time, and they kind of like came into their own. Now with Kevin kind of being gone, we're going to see a bit more Kovacic. I reckon we'll see him like consistently. I don't think he'll be so much as a game filler. So we'll see him more in the 8 spot, and I reckon Phil will play that 10 role. Maybe even Julian will play in the 10 and we'll see Phil play a bit more on the right, or Bernardo. There's still that rotation that can be done. And with Jack and Phil as well on the left, Phil can play on the right and central. I think Foden's not going to have a season where he's not getting a lot of game time. He's going to have a lot of game time this year. He's going to need to. We're going to need him to. Also, like, we're probably going to get Paqueta. Lucas Paqueta.
Just sold my car. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's in my head, mate.
So
constantly in my head now. I was singing it to the son today. I was just going to sold. He's like, what are you doing, Dad? You know, like, he's obviously not saying that, but it's just so addictive. What you mentioned Alvarez?
For sure.
You mentioned Alvarez, mate. Like, where do you stand on the Alvarez role dilemma? Because
don't play him wide. Don't play him wide. He's brilliant in around the box. He feels it in around the box. I'll tell you one thing. He's definitely a bit of a revelation for us now that he's actually a really good set piece taker. That's fantastic that Kevin's gone. That he can actually take really good set pieces like that. He's really good at whipping the ball into the area. And at least in my opinion, I think he is a solid replacement.
Yeah.
At the very least. So it gives us something, and he's got incredible pace on it. I would say, like, I would say he kind of needs to play a little bit more off Haaland, and then as the game stretches and it goes late, we can kind of go into a 2 up front, or if Haaland goes off, he stays up front.
Yeah.
But he can't be a sole winger. He's isolated. He's too isolated. He can't create the right width. It's not for him. He's kind of trying to run off shoulders,
Yeah,
which is what strikers do instead of trying to take the ball on the touch and turn a little bit more, like we've seen with Riyadh, like with Jack, or where they can come deep, they'll take it, they'll hold it up. You know what I mean?
yeah,
He
yeah,
doesn't have that distinct, that like instinct. It's not natural to him, so it has to be worked on in training for quite a while. It's not natural to him, so I wouldn't be starting him out there. I'd still be looking at playing Bernardo on the right, to be honest with
yeah,
you.
yeah,
In a like in the perfect world, like going forward, like my starting would be like Haaland would be like a number 9, left to be Grealish, right to be Bernardo. With De Bruyne out, I'd be playing Foden at 10, Kovacic at 8.
yeah.
That'd be kind of it.
Thing is as well.
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, same man. The thing is as well, like with Alvarez, like there's always this presumption that there's every player has to be the best at all times in the roles. A player can come in and get the job done is more than good enough. Like Alvarez, I think he's obviously he's still a striker. He's still, I think his best role is a striker. But tonight he probably should have scored. If we're being honest, he probably had a couple of chances where he should have scored, and he got an assist. So like if he scores tonight and gets an assist, not playing in his natural role, like while that's really impressive still. It's very useful, and we know he's going to work really hard always. So there's a lot to be said for a guy that you can just trust to do a job. Okay, I don't think he's going to have a 10 out of 10 maybe in this role where he sort of plays off Haaland and sort of occasionally out wide. He's never going to have a 10 out of 10 game, but he's going to have a 7 out of 10 game or 6 out of 10 where he gets an assist or even scores a goal. Probably because he's Alvarez, and I think there's a bit of a value in that. I wonder what against Arsenal. But tonight, against most teams in the league, he's gonna be more than fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine, but like I don't know. I don't want. I've s- you won't like hearing it because I know you don't like hearing it say it, but I'm not okay with fine.
Oh, I know, but I guess context matters. I guess it depends who you're playing at because fine against Burnley is still better than Burnley. Fine against Arsenal isn't good enough. But if you know what I mean, I think basically, I don't think you can ever expect every player to be 10 out of 10 every game. This is never going to happen. Those games happen once in a blue moon. And that's when you win 7-0, something like that. You know what I mean? Those games never happen. In most games,
True.
even when you play really well, most games, the majority aren't getting more than a 7. If you have a game where you win 4-0, usually it's because a couple of players have had a 9 out of 10. Everyone else has been 6-7. That's how I feel in general.
For sure.
Like the big ones where you beat Real Madrid 4-0, that's when everyone's 9 out of 10. Everyone's doing the job there. You know what I mean? So like most people in a game, even when you win comfortably, will still only be a 6, a good game. Because they won't have much to do. Like I know it's a bit of a weird. Like it's rare that you have to play. I think you have to play a great team for everyone to have a 10 out of 10. You can't play because it's hard because all the defenders have to be challenged. And does that mean it's hard to explain what I mean? But I know what I mean by that. Like I don't think everyone can be perfect against Burnley because Burnley doesn't allow you. Don't have to be perfect against Burnley. So why would everyone be perfect? It's really hard to be perfect against Burnley.
Well, gone from fine to perfection is a little bit. That's a massive leap, isn't it?
Yeah.
I want good, right? He was fine today. Like, I want them to be a bit. I want it to be more natural.
I agree.
I just want it to feel like it flows, especially when I'm coming towards the ball, picking up the ball, holding it, getting other players into play, linking in a little bit. Because if he can add that into his game, especially on the side, he becomes elite instantaneously.
Agree. What did you make of the
So
Paqueta links then? Is he the guy for you or Doku or whatever?
I wouldn't want either of them if they're going with someone. Like, to be honest, if they were going to go with someone, I would probably want Verts, but
yeah,
I don't. I'm not cheeky, so I don't get to make the calls. Fortunately, I don't, because if I did, I would have signed Koulibaly a couple of years ago. So I'm glad I don't make the decisions. But yeah, I rather Paqueta, to be honest, than Doku. He can play. He's another one of these guys who's like Foden, who's like Bernardo.
Yeah.
In a way, he can play on the wings, and he can play 10, and he can play 8. By the way, and he can play really well. He's got good vision, he's a good passer. My only thing about him is his consistency, man. He can go missing. I watched quite a bit of West Ham last year.
Yeah.
Friend of mine, forced me to do it. And some games he played really well. Other games, on I, kind of like Payet, right? Do you remember Dimitri
Yeah, yeah.
Payet of West Ham a few years back?
Streets don't
Some
forget, mate.
games, yeah, the streets will never forget.
He's the
Some
ultimate
weeks
guy for that,
class,
isn't
some
he?
weeks
That
he
meme,
was
yeah.
gone.
Yeah, ultimate streets don't forget meme guy. Pay. No, I think you're right there for what I've heard, but I guess I'm always willing to give a player the benefit of the West Ham doubt. You know, like West Ham were just. Like West Ham were crap, you know, like just most of the season, and he's a part of that, of course. And as Cyan Mays said in the chat, maybe Pep makes players consistent. And I often believe what Pep's greatest attribute is he takes what you're good at and makes you do it more often. You know, and he usually does. You know, he's like, you're good at this, stop doing that because that makes you bad. Pep's just a refining school. That's what I always feel with him. But you're right. I don't think, for what it's worth, I don't think he's worth what we're probably about to pay for him. But then I don't think most players are.
How much is it?
Mate, it depends on what you believe. So it's got somewhere between 70 to 100 million. It's crazy. I don't know what it's going to be, but I think will happen. I think it'll get done for like 80 odd, which is crazy, but that's what I think will happen.
But why can't what? Yeah, but that's my question. Why can't we buy Berts for 80? Like, if we're gonna spend 80, why can't we buy Berts?
Pep probably values Premier League proven a little bit more, maybe. Huh? I think the way I feel like City. I'm going to look at Verts right now, his career and stuff. The way I feel like with City sometimes is that they value people that they presume less at risk. Like, so Verts has had a few years at Bayer Leverkusen. Obviously, you know, Leverkusen, really good side. Obviously, he's trained under Xabi Alonso as well, isn't he, at the moment, which is obviously really good. But he's a little bit young. He's 20 years old, Verts. And I think they just they like maybe they just don't rate him. I don't know. I couldn't answer the question. Maybe they really like him, but I would love Verts as well. But they obviously have seen that Paqueta's played in Flamengo in Brazil. He's played in France. He's played in Italy. He's played in England, and he's pretty much to varying degrees passed those tests with flying colours. And they'll go and he's played for Brazil, and Brazil is a pressure cooker. You know, like it's an unbelievable pressure cooker. There's no team in world football gets more expectations than Brazil internationally. So I feel like they'll go.
True.
I feel like they'll look at him and go, "Well, we know we can handle it," and they're so risk adverse with transfers. But you're right; you should probably come first. But
let's talk about that though. Let's talk about that. At the World Cup, he went fucking missing. Last season for West Ham,
actually, I think he was one of their better players in the World Cup. So that's interesting. That's
really.
Yeah, I thought he was good. So.
Ooh. I don't know about that one though. I don't know if he was that good at the World Cup, to be honest. He cost a lot of people a lot of money on bet slips, mate.
But did he cost you some money on bets?
Yeah, he cost me way too much money.
Go on, West Ham.
West Ham. Look, he didn't have a great debut season in the Prem. We can admit that.
West Ham fans love him, by the way. West Ham fans love him. They genuinely do, because I know a few and they love him. So
yeah, but West Ham fans generally love most of their players. If we're being real here, they tend to. We gotta say that about them. They're like they're so nice. They support us.
I think that's despite everyone else, to be fair. But yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but I think they're not used to. Well, as my mate said, they're not used to Brazilian magic. You know, they're not used to it. Look, I'm not arguing he's a £100 million player. I don't think he is. I guess
Is he the man? Is he? I'm asking you that. Is he the man that you actually want at the club? We're going out. We're buying. We've been looking for a winger and midfielder.
I am lazy. I sort of have a very laissez-faire attitude to trying signings. I am sort of like, if City Pep thinks he's good enough, he's good enough. I know it sounds mental, but you know he's done everything that I thought was impossible with his signings. So he's won as a quad. I know it sounds really of a dull answer, but look, I know he's a really talented footballer. I've got a general feeling that anyone who's a very good footballer, with a bit of, everything requires a bit of luck, you know. But usually, if they're the right mentality and Pep gets enough time with them, they'll become an excellent footballer. And I just feel it's as simple as that. I feel it's as simple as that. And like, I look at, do I think Paqueta's technically good enough? Yes. Do I think he has the right tenacity and work rate? Yeah. And does he have a bit of magic to him? I think he does. Yeah. Verts, I agree. I think Verts I would love, because I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I've watched Leverkusen loads. I'm not. I've seen his YouTube compilations, and he looks really exciting. He looks a bit like a mini KDB. You know, that's my honest opinion. I've seen more Paqueta than I have Verts because he's in the Premier League. But at the same time, like I couldn't answer who would have the biggest impact. You know, I don't know if Verts come over here and just turn into Kai Havertz. You know, I don't know. I just don't know. Like,
True.
it's just so hard to it's so hard. But at the same time, our Bundesliga rate is amazing. So anyone,
It is,
yeah.
and that's the thing when you said like maybe you wanted someone a bit more Premier League proven. I was looking at where we're signing players from over the last while. We're not signing many. Kovacic, okay, cool.
Well, I guess not Premier League proven as such, but more proven in a different bunch of scenarios. You know, I think the key for me that was that he's played in the Premier League as well. He's played in Italy, and he's played in France. He's played in Brazil and for Brazil at the World Cup and so on. And it's a good CV for anyone. You know, to be good at a few different places, to be liked at a few different places is usually a good sign. But anyway, it's whatever we think is pretty much irrelevant, unfortunately, because it'll probably happen or not happen. You know, and then we'll have our man, and hopefully it'll be enough. You know, like Mark. Other than Paqueta, and obviously,
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. No, I respect your opinion entirely. How are you feeling now about the rest of the makeup of the squad? What you saw today, like Vardy, Kovacic, you excited to see them a little bit more?
Well, I love Matteo. Straight off the bat, I just love him. Everybody's saying the same thing. He fits right in.
Yeah,
he fits right in. He's just like he's an intelligent player. He's a good ball carrier. He makes smart passes. He can burst. I seen that he tried to make a couple of runs, but that'll be found with a bit more chemistry. I like it, and he's an athlete. He's strong. Has a great presence. Adds more with Rodri, especially with the inverteds coming in. It just makes us feel a little bit more solid in some capacity. He's obviously not like for Gundo, but like it's hard to replace a dude like that. So that's my captain. That's my captain. So but yeah, he was brilliant. Josko was only on for a few minutes, so we seen a few touches, but he's a bull, isn't he? He's a bull. He was my dream signing this year anyway. It's not something that like people would straight recognize without studying it or watching a lot. But Josko is an absolute animal. He's such a good passer. People will realize how special he is over the next couple of seasons. We've got someone very special there.
I think he goes straight into the team, doesn't he? You know, I think Pep gets him in as soon as he can because his technical ability. Like, I don't see a world in which Pep doesn't really go for, really get him in the team as soon as he can do, because he's just what he brings is so unique. It'll be fun. Mark, mate, I didn't realise Dashmesh was waiting as well in the chat, mate. I didn't notice that.
Oh, my bad.
I'm going to go bring him on if that's all right, pal. But it's a pleasure as always chatting to you. And I'll catch you very, very soon, man. In a bit, man. Good night.
We're going to win the league.
Yes, we are. Top bloke, Mark. Dashmesh, are you there? If you're listening, mate, I'll bring you in to the chat. Let me know. Yeah. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome, my friend. How you doing? You all right?
Hi, Steve. Hi. I'm good. How are you doing?
Not too bad, mate. Where are you calling from?
I currently calling from Ireland.
Oh, in Ireland. Whereabouts in Ireland?
Galway.
Galway. Oh, I don't know much about Galway other than that. I don't know anything about Galway other than a pop culture music reference. Probably, I'm going to Google it right now. Anyway, I know it's
in the west.
Sorry?
Yeah.
It's in the west, is it?
It's in the west part of Ireland, yeah.
And I'll just know it because that annoying Ed Sheeran song, which I can't stand.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. There we go. It's Is it coastal?
I don't know. Have you heard or not? But City won the treble.
Hey,
have you heard about it?
My man, love it, pal. Thank you as well for joining up for the membership, man. I really appreciate it. Galway looks nice, man. It looks beautiful. I love a coastal place, by the way. I've got a general feeling in life that people are happier around the sea. I really believe that. I think if you're around the coast,
it's a good city. Like, I've been living here since it's just 3+ years now. So.
Oh, mate, I'm just getting a picture now of a castle on the coast. I'm
Yeah.
loving it.
Originally, I'm from like New Delhi, India. So yeah, moved here 3 years back.
You liking
So
it? Yeah.
yeah, it's been good. Yeah,
I've
so
never
far,
been to
pretty
Ireland,
good.
mate. I've never been to Ireland, even with my surname McInerney. I've never been to Ireland.
Yeah,
I've gone via Dublin briefly on the way to New York, but because you stop off every now and then. But I need to go one day. Fingers crossed,
yeah,
one day I'll get over there. But anyway, thank you so much, mate, for coming on the channel. It's a pleasure to chat to you. How are you, and what did you make of tonight?
yeah. Good, doing well. Like I saw the match and like yeah, it was good start considering usually we don't start well in the like starting part of the season,
Yeah,
but like good enough performance. Like I won't say we should be too negative about anything. Like it's the first game back to the Premier League,
yeah,
and yeah, so overall the game was good, and like we were missing a couple of players in the defense, so it wasn't that we played all our first 11s as well. So and KDB went out injured early as well. So everything didn't go as planned, but it was pretty good considering the first match.
yeah.
Yeah.
I pretty much concur with all that, mate. To be honest, I mean, um, we'll talk about KDB in a little bit, but like, what about like obviously Haaland got a couple of goals, but did anyone else other than Haaland stand out for you in particular? Like, it wasn't a classic performance, but there's still some good individual ones,
Yeah,
wasn't there?
yeah. Like, I really like Lewis today. Like, I know he wouldn't be playing too much regularly because we signed Guardiola as well, and when John Stones and Diaz comes back, I think he'll get less opportunities, definitely. But he was playing well. I think the one thing which is missing is the physicality part in his game.
Yeah,
I guess in a couple of years when he like becomes more ingrained into the team and like he's like very more much more experienced playing in the Premier League, I guess he'll be better in terms of physicality
yeah, of
and
course.
controlling the ball as well. So, but yeah, he looks like Pep's really trust him. So when other main players are injured, he doesn't really try anyone else in the back now. He is like he gives the chance to Lewis now. So I guess Pep really trusts him. So
Only
that
18
was
years
good.
old as well, mate. Only 18 years old, and playing. He's played as a number 8. He's played as a centre midfield. Right, he's played everywhere, and he's such he's just he's an incredible player, and like obviously he's got a lot to learn still, but it's to have someone you just trust to give you a minimum 7 out of 10 every
And
single
and
week.
and another player which like I would like to talk to about is Phil Foden. I
Please,
guess I like last couple of weeks I have seen so many debates going on regarding Phil Foden, when will he stamp his authority in his team or not, and I feel like people are too harsh on him sometimes, considering like he is the one young player which came to the City team like on his own firstly,
yeah,
and being first player is the most difficult one.
hmm
Because we know Phil Foden came into the team, now we are giving chance to like Cole Palmer and Rico Lewis as well. But to be the first person, it's even more difficult. And at the time when he came into the team, we had David Silva, then Gundogan, then Bernardo, so Mahrez as well, Raheem Sterling, Gabriel Jesus. So it is not easy for you to be the number one starter. And I guess if you see the last 2 3 years, like if you compare the City teams, apart from KDB, let's say Haaland last year and Rodri or Fernandinho, I don't think anyone has been the main starter each and every game. Every player has been rotated,
yeah.
and Phil Foden, like he is part of that rotation team only. It's not like he comes in for one game, like in 5 6 games. So he is a regular part of the team, and I guess I understand Foden. Like he is pretty talented. He's great. He's a great player, and by the time he reaches like 29 30, he would already have like one of the greatest legacies in the Premier League. So I think the trajectory which he's going in, I think that's okay. Like
Yeah.
we, I expect him to be like more important, but I don't, I personally don't put much pressure on him. And I guess this year, considering Kevin De Bruyne is getting injured much more now, and I guess he would be like long-term replacement or like uh long-term player which would be playing instead of KDB in the future.
Yeah,
So I guess Pep is like we have seen in last year, Pep is slowly molding him to be that kind of a player.
yeah, yeah.
And we have seen in his last couple of performances, like in Champions League final and then in Community Shield as well, like his turns are pretty great. And yeah, he would be like our main creative player in coming seasons. I see him. So
I agree, mate. I agree.
so yeah.
I think it's gonna be a massive season for Phil Foden, and I think sometimes the stars align. You know, as I was saying to Mark previously, I think sometimes opportunity arises for certain players because it can often be because of circumstance and bad luck for someone else. But the most important thing is that you have the player to take advantage of that. And I think Phil Foden, I think he is going to play central now. I think Pep understands that you need someone a little bit more direct, or maybe it's Phil's time to be a bit different. And when you've had years of that sort of measured approach in the centre midfield, like I think this is a misconception that Pep only likes a certain kind of player. I don't think it's true. I think Pep likes a certain kind of player for a while, but then changes it a little bit by necessity because his teams at Barca, Bayern, and even the multiple teams at City have all been different. You had the Sane era, Sterling era, then you had the controlling wingers, and now apparently we're linked to Jeremy Doku, who's an explosive winger again. And I think he thinks maybe Foden through the middle will be a little bit different now after years of Gundogan. And I think Pep understands that you have to switch up every now and then. It can't always be the same approach every year. So this myth about Pep style is Pep has many different styles within his ethos, if that makes sense. So I think Foden right now
Yeah.
is going to get a chance, and I can't wait to see what he does, man. I think it's going to be really, really exciting. Dash Mesh. Elsewhere
Yeah,
though,
Pep,
go,
yeah.
yeah, sorry,
Yeah, I was just continuing on your point. Like Pep doesn't like to like follow the same strategy for a long period of time.
he gets bored, doesn't he?
He,
He's like,
he
want to change it.
yeah. He tries something new for himself only.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, like we saw in the Community Shield as well. Like John Stones was playing like a normal centre back rather than inverting in the middle, and I think even Arsenal would have been expecting that John Stones would be coming in the middle. So like even if he's taking the same players in the team, he still manages to play it in a different way. So
yeah,
I think Pep is one of those managers who can do that currently. So yeah, it's pretty good. And yeah, good to see Haaland getting 2 goals again. And
that's what he does.
and yeah, because to be fair, he has been pretty quiet for the last 1 or 2 months. So like if we count the period of the games, so he's been pretty quiet, but still he's like the top goal scorer in the whole in the world. But yeah, good to see that he had like the second goal finish was pretty amazing. And yeah, but I still feel that playing Alvarez and Haaland is sometimes tricky. And if Pep also wants to play like players like Foden or KDB, so then it becomes tricky how to
Yeah,
use Alvarez and Haaland together because I feel that they don't really complement each other pretty well right
yeah,
now. Like they might be more experienced playing together if they continue playing together, but currently I don't think they have pretty good chemistry
yeah. Of
amongst them.
course.
So sometimes they seem to want the ball at the same time or seem to shoot at the same time. So like yeah, it might take a little time for them to play together well. So but yeah, as individuals both are pretty good. And you'll see because we have so many games this year, especially with Super Cup, then Club World Cup, and like City usually go to later stages of every competition.
Yeah,
So definitely we'll see some games where only Haaland is playing or only Alvarez is playing,
yeah.
and so there will be good amount of rotation.
It should be
And
good, mate. It should be good. There'll be plenty of rotation. I think there's going to be a lot of football this season. Dash Mesh, because it's late and I'm exhausted, I might end it there. But before I do go, higher or lower than his goal tally last season, Erling Haaland?
I would say lower, but not much, not by
A few
much.
goals in it, yeah. How many was he? 50,
Like
52 last year, was it? I can't remember.
yeah, 52, I think 36
In
in
the
the
Premier
Premier
League,
League
yeah, I'm just
and
checking now.
52 in total, yeah. Like to be fair, I think seeing how the defenders play against him, I guess like I think who played Real Madrid played against him for the
Yeah.
first time. I think Rodiger played against him. How tight was he with Haaland? I think everyone is following the same strategy against Haaland now.
They are elite
And
level defenders. That's the only counter to that. Is that not?
yeah, yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
can try and
Like
do.
that's
They're
why he
better, aren't
scored
they?
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he scored 2 goals today because they couldn't do what Rudiger could do,
Yeah, because Rudiger's one
what
of the best in the world,
top
isn't he?
players can do. Yeah, but I think that's the reason he might score a bit less this year. But still, he would be, I think, the golden boot player
Well, he needs
again.
50 more to level it from next year. We'll see, mate. That's Messi. It's been a pleasure chatting to you, mate. I'm going to get ready to bed because I'm exhausted. But I'll catch you very soon, and hopefully you can jump on again after the Civvy game if you want to, mate.
Yeah,
Just give us a
yeah,
shout.
that's perfect. Nice to have a chat with you
Likewise,
first
my
time.
friend. Likewise,
But
my
yeah,
friend. And hopefully
yeah.
we'll pop over to Garbo one day. In a bit. Good night. Bye bye. Top bloke, Dasresh. Really enjoyed that. Thank you very much to everyone who's been watching as well. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. And let me know down in the comments what you made of this game. Thank you so much to Sal S as well, who's just been dead nice with the super chats, telling him call me a legend. Appreciate you, Sal S. You're a legend too, my friend. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. City are back. The Premier League is back. A treble of goals from Manchester City for the treble winners. 3-0 Haaland, Brace, Rodri, of course, with the other 2 key players. And I've enjoyed it chatting to you guys tonight, and I've enjoyed the match reaction and the watch along. I am tired, so I'm going to get into bed for now. I'll do a 5 things learned tomorrow, of course, as always. And I'll try and get some other people as well on the channel to chat about it. A bit more podcast vibing on the channel this year, I reckon. I want more long form chats. They're good fun. For now, though, go to bed. What are you doing? It's midnight. Love you all those. Treble winners in a bit. Good night. Bye-bye. Like, subscribe. See you in the morning.